Thank you, Julia. It's really wonderful to be here tonight and to be participating in these fantastic awards. It was an absolute honour to take part in the judging process. I know every judge always says this about any competition, but it was genuinely an extraordinarily painstaking as well as uplifting decision-making process, because every single one of the women who was nominated was in many ways fantastic. And also not just the women who were nominated for these awards, but I'd also like to raise a shout out for colleagues out there who nominated, because to see your passion about the women that you work alongside and with and are inspired by on a daily basis was also just a brilliantly positive way to end what has been a trying year for all of us. I thought I'd just bring out a few of the fantastic words that were used in the nominations, because it really gives you an idea of the calibre of people who were taking part in these awards. Amazing, supportive, brilliant, just a few of the words. Inspirational, encouraging, challenging, and I particularly like dedicated, determined and advocate. Because really, as we know and say daily, it's about inspiring, it's about being there, it's about empathizing. I think empathy is a really big word these days for all businesses and successful businesses out there, and it's where women in particular can come to the fore and shine. I've been a female motoring journalist for nearly 20 years now, and it's one of the highlights of my career so far to see so many women coming through the industry. You know, whether you are in the paint shop, whether you are in HR, whether you are an MD or a CEO, working for a retailer, or on board with an OEM, that's the point. It's the great spread of women throughout this industry that we all care so passionately about. As I said, it was incredibly difficult for all 8 of us judges to choose our winners this year. So a huge congratulations to our winners, because to make it through the judging process and the high caliber of women is a true achievement. So I raise my glass and tip my hat to you. And I'd just like to end really on the positive impact that women are now having in the sector. And I'll end with a phrase which brings a tear to my eye every time I say it, because it's true and authentic, and it's let us not all forget to lift as we rise. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Erin, for those very motivational words. And yes, our willies are truly lifting as they rise. I'd like to also say thank you to all of our other judges: Dorcas Ario-Francis, Board Member of Women in Transport; Sue Robinson, Director of the NFDA; Professor Jim Saker, Director for Centre of Automotive Management, School of Business and Economics at Loughborough University; Sarah Noble, the Director of Automotive at Deloitte; Justin Benson, Partner, Head of Mobility and Automotive at Venn Digital; and Ros Bird, Commercial Director of MEPC and Chair of the Silverstone Technology Cluster. And now it's my pleasure to announce each of our fabulous Inspiring Automotive Women Award winners. I'll start with the winners of our 4 Special Recognition Awards: the Inclusive Leader, the Trailblazer, the HR Director Game Changer, and the Rising Star. It was felt that these women were deserving of an additional accolade to mark out their achievements, and you'll be able to hear their thoughts on receiving their awards. I'll then announce all of our other winners, and I'll end with the Inspiring Automotive Woman of the Year. Wins the Inclusive Leader Award because of her passion for gender equality, successfully driving an inclusive culture in Jardine Motors Group, and being a true advocate and ambassador for the Automotive 30% Club. Her quick and decisive actions responding to COVID meant the safety of colleagues was put first, with new HR practices created almost daily. She leads a flexible, inclusive and recognition-rich culture that takes care of the well-being of all colleagues. She's a thought leader campaigning to change perceptions of the motor industry.
So much to everyone that nominated me as an inspiring automotive woman in 2020. I'm incredibly grateful for the recognition, and even more grateful and honoured, privileged. I can't describe how I feel, the words in being given the Inclusive Leader of the Year award for 2020. It means so much to me. Leadership has always been really important throughout my career and continues to be. And I hope that being given this recognition demonstrates to others how leadership has such a big part to play and a vital part to play in making organisations inclusive. So a huge thank you for giving me the recognition, judges, and also for all of those that nominated me for the General Award. And I'd also finally like to thank Jardine Motors Group, as they allow me to be the leader that I want and need to be. And being true to yourself has never been so more important. And again, this special recognition demonstrates that. So thank you again and have a great evening.
Alison Jones wins this year's Trailblazer Award for her high performance and breaking through the glass ceiling to become MD of a UK manufacturer, blazing an inspirational trail for others to follow. Since joining Group PSA, she has overseen a transformation in performance and culture, driving inclusivity by questioning the status quo and challenging historic working practices. Alison shows it's possible to be both in control and have human empathy, and encourages progression and cross-functional moves to recruit a diverse workforce.
I am delighted to be the Trailblazer of the Year award winner for 2020. Thank you for the award, and special thanks to those who nominated me. It's a proud and reflective moment, because Trailblazer is not something that I set out to do or to be, but I'm proud to think that what I have achieved inspires others. Always remember, you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it and put in the effort. Thank you once again.
Sharon Ashcroft is named HR Director Game Changer for the action she's taken to drive improvements in the gender balance in her organisation. This year she's celebrating 15 years with Trust Board and has been instrumental in making their business inclusive and diverse, with women now making up 30% of the leadership team. Sharon is an advocate of the Automotive 30% Club and analyses gender balance data to drive diversity, and as a champion for the apprenticeship scheme has helped 20 young women begin automotive careers.
Wow, I just want to say thank you. I can't believe I was even nominated for HR Game Changer of the Year, never mind actually winning. I'm absolutely lost for words. I know what tough competition I will have been up against. So just massive thank you to people who nominated me. It really means so much. And thank you, and I hope you all have a nice evening. Thank you very much.
Lillian Hulse is our rising star of 2020 for making an amazing impact in the workplace in such a short time, and being a positive role model to young women and encouraging them to join the industry. During her first year as an apprentice, she has become a critical team member, getting engaged with the company beyond expectation and delivering business-changing projects to the board and wider company. As an ambassador for Bentley, Lillian presented at a European conference and has taken part in initiatives with schools to encourage careers in technology.
I'm very surprised and feel extremely honoured to be the Rising Star of the Year award winner for 2020. I'm only very new to the automotive industry and cannot quite believe that my colleagues have put me forward. I am very grateful and in fact quite shocked when I found out. I've been given fantastic opportunities by the senior leadership team at Bentley, who listened to my ideas despite me only being 19 years old and having little experience. It's been an amazing journey so far. I'm also very thankful that I've been empowered to deliver and implement my innovation projects, and hope that there are many more to come. I would like to say especially thanks to the digital team at Bentley for nominating me. It means the world to me and helps me focus on developing my skills, as well as giving me a lot more confidence. I'm really excited for what the future holds for me at Bentley and also in the automotive industry.
Sadie Lowe's proactive approach to improve the marketing department has surpassed expectations and has made a remarkable impact on the role, department and division. Having Sadie on the team has prompted her brand director to improve diversity in what has been traditionally a male environment. Her varied perspectives have produced a more holistic analysis of the challenges faced, which stimulates greater effort, leading to improved decision making. Sadie's nominator added, "She has a positive influence on myself and the senior team." Amy Williamson is relatively new to the motor trade, and the speed that she has progressed is purely down to her hard work, flair and determination. She has increased JCT 600's online Google reviews to be the best in the country for Aston Martin. She constantly pushes to improve gender balance within the workplace and promotes the automotive industry as a great career choice for women. Amy's nominator said, "Amy inspires me every single day, and I feel truly honoured and humbled to have been able to play a small part in her career path." Diane Miller has transformed the paint unit at the Ellesmere Port plant in terms of health and safety, quality, throughput and cost. She's an inspirational leader and has improved industrial relations. Diane is a mentor and the lead woman in the plant for the Women in Industry Forum. She participates in university and school outreach and gives talks on her experiences to encourage women to join automotive and engineering. Diane's nominator said, "She has made everyone in the plant think differently about women and is a huge contributor to the successful running of the plant." Zoe Allen has been instrumental in keeping Strive, Kia's working group on gender balance, on track with International Women's Day activities, parental policies and flexible working. Zoe's nominator said, "Zoe is really passionate about ensuring that all employees in the company can maximise their potential and fulfil their ambitions. She is encouraging, challenging and inspiring by turns. She always looks to lift others and encourages them to lift themselves, and is unafraid to question the status quo where she thinks it's wrong, unfair or able to be improved." Rebecca Naziri delivered an incredibly powerful talk on Black Lives Matter that drove people to think again about the issues and helped shape the Courageous Conversations webinars with the Automotive 30% Club, delivering a brilliant speech about intersectionality. She's an active member of Auto Traders BAME and Women's Networks, and having recently revealed her bisexuality, has also given strength to a number of people in the LGBT+ network. Her nominator said, "Rebecca is so passionate, her enthusiasm and drive are contagious, a true inspiration." Tracy Perry manages Volkswagen Group UK's national fleet sales team and has worked tirelessly through the pandemic to ensure they've remained motivated and fully engaged to meet the ever-changing needs of their customers during a challenging time. She's coached and supported 3 graduates and also runs Inspire, the company outreach programme which focuses on diversity and aims to inspire future talent, and has ensured content and materials were embedded into school curriculums, adding value to overall educational activities. Catherine Altendorf has been instrumental in Bentley launching an updated diversity and inclusion strategy and training programme, moving a physical launch and delivery programme online due to the pandemic. She's also mentoring and supporting young girls in the UK and Germany, being a role model and showing them the opportunities the automotive industry offers. She looks after interns and work placement students and gives these women visibility at Bentley. protecting them when struggling and putting them into the spotlight when successful. Gemma Burdett has achieved fantastic performance results each year by delivering sustainable growth across territory metrics, a performance built on great relationships, sharing knowledge and supporting regulatory change and digital innovation. She was voted the chair of Close Brothers Women in Motor Forum because of her passion, drive and the respect she has from her colleagues. In addition, she's inspired others to join, including male advocates. Her nominator said, "Thank you, Gemma, for all you have done and all you continue to do." Tori Bell is incredibly driven in her ambition to create a more diverse culture at Auto Trader. She sits in the Diversity and Inclusion Guild, the Engagement Guild, and is also co-leader of the Women's Guild, ensuring each group promotes diversity and that all voices are heard. She leads new initiatives such as the monthly Women's Network virtual panel and workshop events to support female colleagues. She shaped the categories for the inaugural Women of the Month Awards and has researched the impacts on women working from home during the pandemic. Olivet Ihama has been a vital part of the transformation of Group PSA's legal department in the UK. As a member of the Women's Network, she takes a leading role on gender and racial equality, diversity and inclusivity initiatives, including presenting at board level. Her nominator said, "Olivet is a successful, confident woman who actively contributes to make our business a more inclusive place to work, as well as being a strong, successful lawyer. She's a great role model for women considering working in the automotive industry." Andy Smith has introduced a number of gender balance initiatives at Close Brothers Motor Finance, which have positively impacted the business, including talent programs, focus groups, and launching the incredibly successful Women in Motor Forum. A skilled coach, Mandy is passionate about the development of those around her and strives to create a fully inclusive culture. Her nominator said, "She is always there for me and I owe the successes of my own career to her. Mandy deserves to be recognised for the unwavering dedication she shows to gender balance." Paula Cooper leads by example and shows women within Toyota that they can rise to new levels and succeed at whatever they do. She's enormously hardworking and driven, champions women and supports them in their development. Paula is a coach and mentor to several women and is an active supporter of the Automotive 30% Club. Her nominator said, "Since Paula has become a director, there have never been so many women climbing the ladder and in increasingly senior positions than now." Moyosola Fujimade has consistently delivered excellent results and impressed both internally and externally with Kia's UK media customers. She's a keen, vocal and active member of Strive, Kia's internal networking group and discussion forum to progress gender diversity. She's also actively working with the Racial Equality Group, writing business cases to be presented to senior management on flexible working, equal opportunity reporting and diversity training. Through Strive and the Automotive 30% Club, she's visited schools inspiring teenage girls to consider automotive careers. Lee Lafiva Aye is the gender lead on Enterprise's UK Diversity Board. She has introduced the Enterprising Women Employee Network, Lean In Mentoring Circle and Drive, an internal digital and print magazine profiling the success of women at Enterprise. She has successfully introduced flexible working open to all and transitional working patterns after maternity or shared parental leave with 100% of pay. Lee is a mentor and her nominator said, "I personally value the direction and guidance Lee offers me and I thank her for the positive impact she's made on my career." Sarah Cox has transformed the Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles brand image. She inspires others around her through her outstanding leadership skills and is a beacon for diversity and inclusion. She's a mentor to aspiring women and anyone who wants to be successful in automotive, and offers great support during tough times, ensuring her team members are emotionally and physically well. Her nominator said, "I know that in my latest career move and for any future moves, I owe a lot to her for giving me the confidence to recognise my own achievements." Mariam Zahidi has been a shining light in shaping the future strategy for manufacturing within Bentley Motors. She has a brilliant ability to think strategically and understand the impacts of the business, and is a strong leader. Mariam has a passion for encouraging women into STEM and inspiring more women to become excited about a career in manufacturing. Mariam's nominator said, "I want to thank her for inspiring me to own my future and for making me recognise that I have the ability to make a massive difference with Bentley and also with my own career." Stacey Lang is an inspirational leader, and her warm approach brings a strong feeling of community and lifts the well-being status of her colleagues. She supports the gender balance drive in JCT 600 by recruiting female apprentices, supporting their qualification at college and encouraging them to become technicians, and takes part in the Automotive 30% Club's outreach activities with schools. Stacey's nominator said, "I'm in awe of her permanent energy and interest in others. I can't think of another woman in her team that deserves this award more." Hayley Keating is a brilliant head of business, instilling good teamwork values and a supportive culture. Her dealership ranked in the top quartile for engagement, empowerment and enablement in the Jardine Motors Group Employee Survey, and 100% of her team agreed she's a role model to others. She promotes an inclusive culture, creating opportunities for others to experience career progression, actively encouraging colleagues, spotting talent and being an advocate for others. Hayley is also studying for a management degree at Loughborough University. Samantha Garner has designed most of the graduate rotation plans within Auto Trader and works tirelessly to ensure their learning will equip them for future roles. She's a proactive member of the Auto Traders Women's Network and is passionate about making a difference to the diversity within the business, and has also played an active role in the Automotive 30% Club school outreach activities. She relentlessly supported her early careers colleagues during the pandemic, helping them to face challenges and navigate through such tough times. Rhonda Johnson has broken the glass ceiling as a leader, driving positive change in many of Trustford's processes, managing projects of all size and scale. She's a cheerleader for her team, giving each individual the support, autonomy and confidence to succeed, and has been hugely supportive during the pandemic. Her nominator said, "Rhonda is one of the most respected leaders in our Trustford family. She's never happier than when enabling her team to grow and develop, always pushing training opportunities and inspiring those around her to be the best they can be." Rebecca McNeil has been a great inspirational leader since joining Close Brothers. She congratulates success personally and makes colleagues feel part of a fabulous team. She's created a culture where colleagues come first. Rebecca inspires others to be involved in the Women in Motor Forum, leading the company to embrace change whilst encouraging and supporting women to progress. Her nominator said, "Rebecca is a truly inspiring leader within our business. She has given me the belief in myself and confidence to go out and strive to achieve my goals." Amanda Mogan Wilson is a true advocate of creating a business culture inclusive to all. She increases engagement, empowers all colleagues to have a voice, and has developed Jardine's culture and community. Her passion and consideration for others is evident in her devotion to colleague well-being across the group. Amanda played a key role cascading vital information to all colleagues during the pandemic, and also regularly creates insightful blog pieces about gender diversity and inclusion. Sneha Mahavir has made a significant impact on Volkswagen Group UK. She has resolved key business process challenges and has engaged with employee network groups to challenge the status quo and drive improvements. A role model for driving an inclusive culture, Sneha is chair of the Building a Multicultural Environment Group and has also broken new ground by enabling colleagues to have open and honest discussions on topics such as Black Lives Matter. She has introduced a cultural calendar and an initiative to capture all employees' diversity data. As Commercial Director, Shane Kumar has overseen a complete overhaul of the strategy and tactics of free-to-move lease sales and marketing. She plays an active role in Women Empowered in PSA to advance the cause of gender balance and demonstrate that inclusivity is in everyone's best interests. She balances equality objectives with pragmatic implementation strategies and is a great role model to younger women. Her nominator said, "Every day, Shane demonstrates that it's possible to achieve great results whilst maintaining ethics, empathy and a good work-life balance." Julia Greenough has a real passion for marketing and Trustboard, inspiring everyone with her vision and dedication. Julia always looks to do things smarter and better and has a unique ability of identifying others' strengths and developing them to the max. She's a great mentor for women within Trustboard who have really grown as individuals through her coaching and actively supports the Automotive 30% Club school outreach activities. Her nominator said, "Julia is a very successful, much valued and hugely respected member of our board and leadership team." Vicky Thurgood consistently delivers high performance as Operations Director for the biggest project within ROI and also leads the company in striving for a greater gender balance and a family-friendly working environment. She's a mentor and coach and introduced the company's first part-time management role for a maternity returner and also a compressed work schedule to support parenting needs. Vicky supports male employees to fulfil their childcare commitments, changing perceptions of primary caregivers, and has built a multicultural and age-diverse team. Inspiring Automotive Woman of the Year is Rebecca Clark. Because of the strength of her commitment to gender balance, she has reinvigorated the team culture at Auto Trader by creating an environment of inclusion, fun, personal development and optimism. Her nominator said, "She's the person who can genuinely change the way you feel about your day, and through her passion for the industry, her drive to make the working balance better for everyone, and her incredible positivity, Bex is an inspirational colleague and leader." So now I'm very pleased to be joined by our Inspiring Automotive Woman of the Year, Rebecca Clark, Sales Director of Auto Trader. Congratulations, Rebecca.
Thank you, Julia. It was a very unexpected surprise, to say the least, to be nominated and let alone to win, but absolutely delighted. Yeah, real thank you.
So you were chosen as this year's Inspiring Woman of the Year because of the strength of your commitment to the cause of gender balance and inclusion, both in Auto Trader and in the Automotive 30% Club and the wider sector. How do you feel about being recognised with this award?
It's been absolutely great and equally extremely humbling to be recognised for doing something which quite simply feels like the right thing to do. I acknowledge there are lots of brilliant women doing lots of proactive things to support, you know, both those around them in their organisations and equally out of their businesses. And Julia, I guess you'll know far better than I. But I think receiving this award just acknowledges the action that I and many of my colleagues at Autotrader have taken in the past years to really champion diversity and inclusion and genuinely make a positive contribution in our own business, but equally within the broader automotive industry and kind of wider business community. We're committed to doing things, and we do acknowledge that sometimes it can be really hard to get started, but once you're underway and making progress, then momentum typically begins to build. I'm super proud, obviously, to have been chosen to win this award. Who absolutely wouldn't be? And feel it's testimony to the culture that we have at Autotrader, and again, everything that we strive to be. I've been fortunate to work in such a positive environment for many years, and I've always felt like I've had the backing of those around me and from my leaders, and that really does matter and make a difference. And it's certainly given me, more confidence to progress in my career. On a personal note, and as a mum of 3 now teenagers, that's gone super fast. A daughter and 2 boys. I can honestly say that being involved in diversity and inclusion and becoming better educated myself, as I have in recent years, I believe has made me a much more rounded individual and hopefully a better parent. As I steer the best I can my kids in the right direction and making sure that they equally understand the importance of inclusion. And when I reflected back, as obviously receiving the award has been phenomenal, and just reflecting back, I guess, to where my journey really started a few years ago when we were setting up the Autotraders Women's Network back in November 2016. And it was the first network that we established in Autotrader, and both Trevor Mather and Nathan Coe, our previous and current CEOs, were massively supportive of starting the network. And equally we had lots of colleagues that were happy to be involved and help us keep the network alive as it very much is today. And not long after that, our LGBTQ plus BAME and then subsequently disability networks all followed not too long after. So yeah, that was kind of from an internal perspective. After we developed the internal networks, we started setting ourselves some commitments and objectives, to make sure that, we could track the impact and, just how we were moving forwards in these areas. And one of the things we wanted to do was look at how Autotrader could get involved in, the broader automotive industry. And I started, looking into what other communities existed. And it was at that point that I came across, obviously, yourself and the Automotive 30% Club. I think it was Mill Hill School in Barnsley was my first experience of the 30% Club, and meeting yourself and just seeing firsthand really the impact that the 30% Club had with students as it was on that day, broadening awareness of the automotive industry, the roles that exist, and just how children could help, think about their careers and opportunities that were there for them. It felt like a really good thing for us to, be part of.
And you've actually been part of it in several times since as well, including this year, haven't you, Mace? So you did mention just then about culture, and your nomination said, and I'm going to quote from that, you've totally reinvigorated the team culture at Autotrader by creating the environment of inclusion, fun, personal development and optimism, which has resulted in an energised group with complete trust in one another. So what did you do to achieve that?
Wow, it's amazing to hear. It really, really is. Okay, well, I'd say I've been always a people person, very much committed to fostering. Sorry, that's my dog barking in the background. It should be outside. But been a people person, committed to fostering a strong sense of team spirit and positive culture. I do genuinely think actually that without that, it's hard for teams and businesses to be truly successful, and that trust, is very much at the heart of this. At Autotrader, we talk about having a trust-first culture, and it really does make a difference how we work with each other internally and how, we work with external partners too. I think it's important that everyone can have a voice and feel confident to contribute, and actively encourage that as well. And that takes place across all parts of our organisation, from typical day-to-day meetings, to taking time out actually as a team to go off site, to get to know each other and learn more about each other as individuals, our motivators, our challenges, and just really think about how we can work together for the good of the business moving forwards, but with that backbone of kind of solidarity and understanding each other perhaps more than we would have done before. Julia, this year in terms of inclusion and keeping people feeling connected, it feels like this year's been a real test of that. Working remotely, not seeing your colleagues, it's meant that we've had to work harder than ever, to keep people feeling involved and together as a team. Camaraderie, which is always important, has very much been key. And amidst all that hard work that we always do, all of us, it is important to sprinkle it with a sprinkling of dust and fun, and really make sure that people have the right amount of downtime and well-being for themselves as well. And I guess just on your last point with regards to optimism, I am known typically in Auto Trader and at home for being a very optimistic, positive and glass half full kind of person, to the extent that I have been asked on a couple of occasions, am I too optimistic? But I hope that I'm not kind of naively optimistic, and either way I really do pride myself on that ability to just have that view and that outlook on life, both be it at work and at home. I think it's served me well so far.
So everyone in your team has a voice, including the dog.
Yes.
So you've also overseen fantastic results in Auto Trader's retailer and manufacturer and agency businesses as the sales director. So can you just share with us, what was your career route that led you to success at the top?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Julia, I have to say, those impressive results that we're all proud of at Auto Trader are down to the hard work of many, many people, and, the efforts of many of my colleagues, who I have huge respect and admiration for across all levels of our business. It really is brilliant to be part of such a great organisation. In terms of my career route, I've held various roles throughout my career, but often with common themes of either working with customers or leading people. I personally, place huge importance on understanding customers and their objectives, being clear on what good looks like from both parties' perspectives. And I think it's also truly, important to care about how you work with customers and be in it for the long term, not just kind of short-term results. In my early roles, while studying for my degree and subsequently my master's, I worked in telesales, field sales, training, and then ultimately in management roles. So following quite a typical and traditional as was kind of sales route. I've been with Auto Trader now for 18 years. That's another thing that's kind of gone in a flash. And had various roles at Auto Trader. Obviously, when I joined, we still very much had our magazines. So I've worked within our magazine team, our national sales function, which is where our finance and insurance type customers are looked after, and worked pretty much with most segments of customers, from independents, car supermarkets, franchise, and then ultimately, car manufacturers and their ad agencies as well. Whilst I've led teams, and certainly, kind of the last probably 10 years have very much been around leading teams, I've also had the opportunity, though, to directly manage customer accounts. And that for me was something that I really valued. Having not worked in the automotive industry, I felt was really important to try and, again, just, immerse myself in the customer's world and, understanding the industry far more than perhaps I did before. So that's been invaluable. And I guess just lastly, wrapped around the career and the roles that I've had, I would say, having that inner drive and determination has definitely helped me progress. I think that's something that I've carried for many years, and just being conscious of things like working hard, even, from school days till today. Absolutely, working hard, delivering the best results that you can. I'm a firm believer that to progress, it doesn't always mean just taking the next role up. you know, broadening your skill set, taking sideways moves that give you more experience are equally just as important, that ultimately put you in a stronger position, you know, hopefully for when opportunities come along. And that's definitely been the case, you know, within Auto Trader with quite a flat structure. And I think, Julia, I've been fortunate, you know, that I've been able to have quite open conversations with my leaders about my ambitions, my performance, how I'm doing, you know, where, you know, I need to improve, considering going next, etc. That's just really helped know we were in sync with each other, and, you know, helped me be confident in my kind of future direction.
So not only all of that hard work, but also on top of the day job, you mentor women. And also, apparently, according to your nominator, you're extremely supportive for working mothers and families, and that was especially evident during the lockdown. And your nominator, he or she, said, and I'm going to quote them because it's such a lovely quote, she makes people think differently, the people we work with, and even our own relationships at home. She's a person who can genuinely change the way you feel about your day, and through her passion for the industry and her incredible positivity, drives to make the work-life balance better for everyone. Bex is an inspirational colleague and leader.
Wow, really.
What advice would you give to those watching about inspiring and supporting other women and being an inclusive leader?
Yeah, sure. And again, just like really powerful words. And yeah, I obviously don't know who nominated me, but thank you to whoever wrote those words. They do mean an awful lot. I guess in terms of advice, I would say, you know, take the time to just digest, look around you, you know, your team, your peers, whatever it is that's appropriate, your business today, what's in a good place, where do you know, where can you take that to keep improving further? And equally, you know, where are the parts of the business that maybe you know, want, need, could, should be better, but take the time to really think about how, you know, what are the actions that, you know, if they're taken, are going to have a positive impact on the business. And sometimes if, you know, those actions aren't obvious, perhaps seek out people that you think might be able to just, you know, help you, have a conversation, point you in the right direction. Without doubt, you know, we all obviously are aware gender balance, you know, in teams is proven to be great for business. You know, and it's also important to have, you know, broader diversity, as one white woman doesn't, you know, represent all women. And at Auto Trader, we definitely place emphasis on all aspects of diversity. You know, BAME, LGBTQ+, disability, as I mentioned earlier, and really strive to, you know, create that culture where everybody can be their true self at work. I think in terms of actions, I'd suggest getting involved. You mentioned mentoring, you know, coaching, reaching out to people that, you know, may need some support and encouragement. And sometimes they're not the people always with the hand up either. So trying to be observant to what's going on around you and help those people when you spot them. Take the time to get to know people and learn about them, their you know, their home life as much as they, you know, want to share. But really just understanding what does, you know, great look like for them, and how might you be able to support them in that journey, you know, as well clearly as you know, what they're doing at work, and just really trying to be an authentic leader. I think other things as well around, you know, talent and being explicit in succession planning, you know, how you're nurturing your talent in the business. And these are things that, you know, we absolutely still got, you know, a lot of work to do. You know, things can always be better, but feel really important for future success. I think sometimes the littlest things can make the biggest difference. Recognizing great work, calling it out, again, perhaps when people aren't expecting it to be called out, it can, you know, be hugely and gratefully received. You know, let women and men know that their contributions are being recognized, and showcasing that talent more broadly. I think being open-minded and giving people to freedom to pursue their goals is also a really powerful thing. You know, as you progress in your career, take others with you. It's by no means a competition. We're all on our own journey. We're all at different stages and phases, and there's definitely, you know, more than enough room for everybody to progress. And I would say things, you know, like being kind and thoughtful, and taking the time for those things. You know, we are all only human. And at Auto Trader, we've talked about being kind to each other for many years. But I think in 2020, again, you know, in our business and beyond, it's things like that that have massively made a difference to culture and how businesses have behaved and acted and how it makes them feel. And I think people have massively appreciated some of those elements in 2020. I think going back to, you know, I mentioned networks at the beginning, Julia, encouraging networks and guilds to, you know, be set up in businesses, you know, get involved yourself, letting others, you know, lead those initiatives and championing events. And there are a few quotes that over kind of, you know, my career, you hear lots of different quotes from people, and, you know, there are lots of them around, but some that really ring true for me, which I do consciously think about a lot, are, you know, surround yourself with brilliant people, give people the freedom to operate, and, you know, and unclipping people's wings and just allowing them to fly, because great things typically, you know, 9.9 times out of 10 do happen when you allow that kind of culture to be alive. And I've certainly been impressed, you know, by what we've seen in our business when we champion people and, you know, just give them that freedom to grow. It feels like it's that classic case of synergy where, you know, the combined results of everything happening in together is far greater than each of those things from an individual perspective. So without doubt, you know, as leaders of the organisation, or, you know, in all roles, it's just trying to absolutely make sure that, you know, people within our business, our employees, have a platform, you know, on which, you know, they can very much be successful, and let's make sure that we continue to support that. Hope that's helpful.
Well, really wise words there, and I think a lot of us have got a lot to learn from you, including me, I have to say. So thanks very much, Rebecca. You really are a truly inspiring automotive woman. You are an inspiration to your colleagues and also to other women in the sector. And I count myself as one of those too, that you inspire me also. So thanks very much, Bex. I call you Bex because
Yeah, as everybody does. Yeah.
I feel as though we know each other very well now.
Yeah, no, and thank you, Julia. That means an awful lot. It really does.
Oh, thanks. And I hope you're going to stay with us for the champagne toast. So again, thanks for all those wise words, and we'll end it there. Thank you very much.